In less than 6 months, the next president of the United States will be elected. The contenders, Donald Trump and Joe Biden, again. Americans will have a range of issues and concerns to factor in as they cast their vote. One of the most contentious issues dominating the national dialogue is the ongoing crisis at the southern border. With the potential return of former President Donald Trump to office, questions arise about how his policies could shape the future of immigration.
This is now the #1 issue for the American public. We've seen a morphing of 3 issues: border security, immigration, and crime. They've all morphed into one as we see more people in the country illegally in the United States committing crimes, oftentimes violent. We know that former President Trump, in his first administration, implemented policies and conducted international dialogue in terms of diplomacy with other countries that were extremely effective, leading to historic lows in illegal immigration into the United States. So I think many Americans are behind his previous plan, his intentions of what he plans to do when he comes into office, and that is not only stop the illegal immigration, but take action on those that have made their way already into the country illegally.
I saw a Gallup poll from February that said in all 50 states, the biggest issue is immigration. And now Ohio is a border state. Missouri is a border state. Every state has now become a border state because these people are being transported at the behest of the Biden administration to all 50 states. There is fentanyl pouring in through the southern border because of Joe Biden, and that's killing our mothers, sisters, brothers, sons, children. So I really think that we have to have a wake up call and realize what's causing this problem. Honestly, I don't know if we can unring this bell. I think the damage done under Joe Biden in these 3 years is catastrophic and extremely damaging to our country. So although I love President Trump's idea of deporting all of these people, when you think about it and you sit in bed, it keeps you up at night. How are we going to be able to do this? But I do think that no one has been vetted coming through the southern border. That's why we're seeing young women being raped, children being killed. It's really catastrophic and a nightmare situation. So I do think that maybe it's starting with people that commit crimes. You hear these stories. This person came through the border 5 times. It's making sure those people cannot re-enter our country. And I just think that the blood of this nation is on Joe Biden's hands.
I think America's going to need somebody strong to staunch the flow at those borders. I understand now that ISIS people are coming through the borders now. I mean, it's just bad news. I'm feeling lucky. I want to call the election 6 months out, okay? And then I'm going to tell you why. Donald Trump is going to be the 47th president of the United States. There's not much we can do, not much that Biden can do about it. 57% of Americans disapprove of Joe Biden. Donald Trump is ahead of Biden by 17 points in terms of the economy, inflation, law and order, and especially immigration. There are only 2 areas out of 20 where Biden is ahead of President Trump, and that's in the area of reproductive rights and health services. But Trump I think, has beaten the Biden on all accounts, and I think the final coup de grace comes from Bernie Sanders when he raised his troops again and roused his troops again by identifying Biden's support for the war in Gaza as illegal and immoral. And keep in mind, 45% of Americans aren't even going to go to the polls. They don't. We only get about 55 to 60% of participation. And right now, a number of polls have picked, a number of polls say that President Trump's ahead by 2%. But look, he's ahead by 10% in all the swing states.